everybody. This is Luis Galvis, Technical Marketing Manager with Wolters Kluwer Tax and Accounting. And joining me for a cup of coffee today are Alberto Lara, our TaxWise Field Sales Account Manager, and Dawn Evanoff, our TaxWise Application Engineer. Now, the topic for today is bilingual tools for tax preparers. And Dawn, you had your own tax preparation business for many years, and now you help drive the technology that we put in TaxWise to better serve all of our clients, including those who want to grow in the Hispanic market. So how can tax preparers grow in this market, and why is it so important?
We've seen a huge increase in the Hispanic market. Again, I've been in the industry for 40 years, so it's a huge difference from when I started to today. The National Taxpayer Advocate Annual Report stated that 76% of Hispanic taxpayers choose to go to a professional preparer. That's a huge percentage of the people. You know, they prefer that over a DIY than most of our taxpayers now are starting to move towards. So that's a big market that you can grow into and increase your numbers in your office if you start to work with that market. And one of the things that's very important to do that is to communicate with the client in their preferred language. So that's one of the things Alberto's going to talk about in a minute, is about the forms being in Spanish. You can print the tax return out and give it to them in Spanish. So if that's the language they're more comfortable with, then that's what you give them the return in. Also, to think about hiring bilingual staff. So one of the things that I see a lot of people do is they use the prep use form to determine whether the family's language is English or Spanish in the home, because then they can determine how many bilingual staff they need to have to help support that market in their area, because every office is different depending on your location throughout the United States. So it's very, very different. And then also to include bilingual services in your marketing. A lot of times we forget that, but it's very important because, again, that's a growing market that you want to cater to.
That's right, Dawn. And so, Alberto, it's important to know that you don't have to speak Spanish to be able to serve the Hispanic market. And we've made sure that TaxWise is equipped with the tools that you can utilize to make sure that you grow in this very specific market of Spanish speakers.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it right. I mean, you don't need to be bilingual. If you want to serve this market, TaxWise already has done some of that work for you to help out a little bit. So we translated into Spanish more than 60 forms, the most commonly used. So from the W-2, the 1040, the W-7, for example, it will be one of the most commonly used into the Hispanic market, and that's for the ITIN application. The 1040 PR, for example, is another one. And then we even have some intake sheets, like the interview form, that is already translated into Spanish, and we've even seen it in some offices at the waiting area. That some people have it already printed out for their people while they're waiting. They already start filling that out. So yeah, it definitely helps, and we already built some of those features into the software. Even when they communicate with the client, we already have some templates. So for the letters that go out, whether it's before tax season or after tax season or during tax season when you're giving the copies, we already have some of those letters translated into Spanish. The communication that you as a tax professional is going to have with us here at our headquarters at TaxWise, we have a lot of the employees that are going to be bilingual as well. So from your account manager, from support, from IT, we have different people that are going to be fully bilingual, so they can help you in English or Spanish. Some additional features within the software, the instructions or the help that is going to be built into the software as well. Even to the point we call it context-sensitive help. So if you don't know a specific line item, what should you be doing there? We translated that and we give you instructions in Spanish as well. And we even built an additional feature or product a couple of years ago, and we went full on this last tax season. We call it TaxWise Mobile, and it's also translated into Spanish. So your clients, if they feel more comfortable filling out their information and doing the interview in Spanish, they will have that ability. And the beauty of this product is that you can send it out securely via link. The customer will access that link, and anything that they type or everything that they fill out and then they share it will load automatically back into your TaxWise, so you don't have to rekey that information. You can correct it, obviously, if needed to be, but you don't have to retype or redo all that information from another site. It loads automatically into the software, and they can even share documents there, so they can take a picture of the driver's license, social security card, W-2s, whatever their forms they feel that they need to get to your office. It's very convenient because now that there are restrictions maybe with COVID-19 or traveling or whatnot, they can do it securely from anywhere in the world.
That's right, Alberto. And Dawn, we have seen, as Alberto mentioned, great success with TaxWise Mobile, not only because of its ability to help tax preparers attract new clients, but also with how well it fits into the TaxWise virtual office.
That's right. It's so important in today's world to go with a virtual office, whether it's the things we've been going through with COVID-19, or the other thing, truthfully, is a lot of the millennials don't want to come into your office. They want to be able to do their return from home. And so using the TaxWise virtual office with TaxWise Mobile, as Alberto said, they'll enter data and they can also take pictures of their documents and upload them from their phone, their tablet, or they can use their computer and a scanner if that's how they have their office set up, and get the information to the tax preparer. When the tax preparer looks at their tax returns, it'll say that there are interviews to import, and that data will load into TaxWise Online. And Alberto referenced that a minute ago. So when they type their name and address, you can correct it, but all of that data will flow in from what they have typed in. Also, all those documents will be in the TaxWise Online vault. So I can look at their W-2 and type the data in, or their 1098-P, or their daycare form, because I have all of the source documents will be stored right along with the return in the TaxWise Online vault. One thing I really like about the vault is that you can give the person that used TaxWise Mobile access to those documents. So if in the summer they say, hey, I don't have my W-2, you can unlock it and they can download it or print it from TaxWise Mobile. So you can get those documents without them having to come back to your office. As far as finishing the return, once you're done with it, you have your e-signature. And it's what's called a remote e-signature because it's going to ask them KBA questions to verify that it is indeed the taxpayer. So this is a way to prevent fraud because you don't have them in your office to see their face and look at a driver's license, right? So it's very important to use the remote signature. They'll get the KBA questions similar to where did you live in 2016? It'll have 3 addresses and none of the above, or who has your current car loan, things like that to verify that it is who the taxpayer says it is signing the documents. Once they click finish, you'll have the signed return will go back into the TaxWise vault. And so you'll have that signed 8879, page 2 of the 1040, and if you have state or bank forms as well. And the last component on the virtual office is client portal. And again, that's a 2-way communication to get documents back and forth. Some of you do payroll, you do bookkeeping, you do other things. So you may need other documents throughout the year where they're not going to really use the mobile. They've already done their tax return, but to get documents back and forth to your office.
That's right. Thank you, Dawn. And so, Alberto, for those TaxWise customers watching us today, if they have any questions about TaxWise Mobile, bilingual features in TaxWise, or the TaxWise virtual office, what can they do? And if I'm not using TaxWise today, where do I go?
Yeah, I will say, call your account manager. They can tell you all about it. You can call also 1-800-495-4626 is the number on the screen. Or you can go to our website, engagetax.wolterskluwer.com/TaxWise Online.
So with that, I'd like to thank you, Alberto and Dawn, for joining me today for a cup of coffee. And I'd like to thank everybody else for watching. Bye-bye.